Welcome to this video. My name is Adina. I'm an intuitive astrologer. In this video, I will be going over Mars and all 12 zodiac signs. This is a part of my Astrology 101 series where I go over all of the personal planets in all 12 signs. So if you have not checked out my Mercury and my Venus video, make sure you do that. And I've also posted a video of all of the signs, the houses, and the planets as a part of this Astrology 101 series. So if you align with my energy and you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Now let's get right into it. So, we are going over the energy of Mars. Mars is known as the lesser malefic, and Mars is all about our action, our willpower, our drive, our motivation, and our physical energy. Mars also represents our muscles, our strength, and physical activity. Mars represents men and masculine energy, anger, aggression, and has an association with war and violence. Mars also represents our sexual energy, our passion in sexual style. And Mars has an association with weapons and sharp objects. So even doctor tools and any type of sharp instruments or anything like that. And afflictions to your Mars placement can create issues with willpower and your decision making, anger, and also certain health conditions like anxiety or depression. So before I get into all 12 of the zodiac signs, I want you to know that this is generally speaking because this energy can be altered depending on aspects to the placement. And so, for example, what I mean by that is Mars and Aries would be a very strong placement for Mars because Mars rules Aries. However, if there was like a square from Saturn or other indicators in the chart, this can inhibit the expression of Mars. So also keep that in mind that there's other aspects and indicators that can sometimes alter these energies. So this is a very general overview, okay? I've also added celebrities with these placements so that you can kind of get an idea of how they show up because we tend to know a little bit about what goes on in the lives of celebrities and their personalities and character. So I've added them for fun. Now let's get into Mars in Aries. So Mars is at home in Aries. Mars is the ruler of Aries. So individuals that have Mars in Aries, these are people that would have a lot of physical energy, a lot of willpower, a lot of drive. They're initiators, courageous. They can also be very impulsive, irritable, and these are some lower expressions of this placement would be irritability, maybe not a lot of patience, a little bit impulsive. They're the ones that really go, they see something and they go for it. They know what they want and they just go get it sometimes. And and sometimes that can be where they run into trouble because they're very impulsive and they kind of just act on impulses. And they also have a drive for personal power and success, and they have a very active sex drive. Celebrities with Mars and Aries are Kate Hudson, Clint Eastwood, Kevin Costner, Ron White, and Angelina Jolie. I thought that was interesting because she's in all of those action movies. So Mars and Taurus. Mars is in its detriment in Taurus because Taurus is ruled by Venus. And so what this means is that Mars can't exactly express himself how he would prefer to express himself. And so, however, individuals that have Mars and Taurus, these are people that are very stable, very grounded when they're taking action. And they're also very dependable people. They can be very stubborn and strong-willed, but they're very persistent and focused. They're able to usually they get this thing, it's like they're able to stay focused on what they want and kind of I can't think of the word I'm looking for right now, and just kind of go for it, stay determined, and they can also be very patient, perseverance, loyal, dependable, and they tend to really stand strong in their actions as well. Celebrities with Mars and Taurus is Christian Bale, Paul Walker, Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, and Selena Gomez. Mars and Gemini. This energy is the jack of all trades. Gemini is, they love to do a little bit of everything. They want to get their hands in all the pots. And so, someone with Mars and Gemini, this is someone that's very active, very curious, very it could be a little bit impulsive, but this is someone where their communication style could be very loud or aggressive or fast or talk with their hands because Gemini does rule with communication and all of that. So with Mars and Gemini, this could be someone that does talk with their hands or come off very loud. This is someone that can respond quickly, sometimes without thinking. So there's a little bit of an impulsiveness when it comes to maybe blurting things out and talking, not necessarily acting. Or I guess it could be in a way acting, yeah. But not an impulse like Aries. It's a different energy. So their mental approach, they have a mental approach to taking action. So they are going to think things. So where Aries sees something and they want to go for it, Mars and Gemini would be like thinking, "Oh, this sounds great. Let's get into this." Or you know what I mean? So it's not they may not actually take the physical action, but they're going to start diving into whatever, ideas they get or creative, it's a mental approach. And they also can explore various paths before taking action. And so that's kind of like what I already went over. And so celebrities with Mars and Gemini are Natalie Portman, Jason Momoa, Al Pacino, Meryl Streep, and Demi Lovato. Mars in Cancer. So Mars is at its fall on Cancer. And individuals that have Mars, these people tend to have a very nurturing approach. They can sometimes struggle with physical energy and motivation, and they can also come off sometimes as being passive aggressive. They have a very emotional response to things. So these people tend to have a very hard time separating their emotions from their actions, meaning that they can take action a lot of the time based on their emotions, how they are feeling at that moment. They also feel out the environment before taking action. They want to make sure it's a comfortable setting. They need to feel safe and secure before they're taking any action. And because it's a water sign, it's very receptive sign. It's a very intuitive sign. So they really have to feel like it's okay before they just jump right in. Celebrities with Mars and Cancer are Chris Hemsworth, Jaden Smith, Eddie Murphy, Cyndi Lauper, and Gene Simmons. Mars in Leo. So this is a good placement for Mars. Leo is a fire sign. And so individuals that have Mars and Leo, they're very passionate. They have a lot of passion. They can come off as being a little bit flamboyant. They're very, because they can really be, Leo is already a very outgoing, passionate sign. And so with Mars and Leo, it just heightens all of that up. So they may come across as being um what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, they are definitely self-confident unless there's other indicators in the chart, but they can come off maybe as being like overly confident because of the just over the top. They're very passionate, flamboyant, they're very ambitious. And they tend to really make heartfelt decisions if it feels good, different from Cancer. Cancer is like an emotional feel good, where Leo, it has to really come from the heart. So it's not necessarily emotional, but there has to be a click inside for them to take action. And sometimes if they don't feel that click, they won't do it because it just doesn't feel right. It's not coming from the heart. These are very active people, energetic, outgoing, optimistic. And some celebrities with Mars and Leo is Larry the Cable Guy, Steven Tyler, Donald Trump, Adam Sandler, and Mike Myers. Mars in Virgo. So Virgo is a very organized sign. They can be very critical, very analytical. They pay attention to details. So this energy would definitely be heightened. They need to know the details before they take action. They are not going to be impulsive. They're not going to just jump right in unless they have the plans and it's all organized. This is this energy, right? And it can be for everything. They're the ones that have the itinerary made for the shopping day, for the trip, for moving, whatever it is, they have to have the details planned out. They can tend to have this perfectionist persona because of that they just pay attention to the details. They can be overcritical on themselves and others and overanalyze things. And they're very organized, very structured, and they have this skillful approach when taking action. Celebrities with Mars in Virgo is Robert Downey Jr., Ariana Grande, Betsy Johnson, Barack Obama, and Sarah Jessica Parker. Mars in Libra. So Mars is at its detriment in Libra. Libra is another sign that is ruled by Venus. And so this is a sign that Mars doesn't necessarily express himself that well. And individuals that have their Mars in Libra, they really need balanced, and they take a very balanced and responsible approach. And they truly make sure that everybody is okay before they take action. They can also come off as being passive aggressive. They can struggle with initiating actions as well. They have a passion for beauty and harmony, and they can analyze situations before taking action. But individuals with Mars and Libra, this is a very balanced, very just sign. So they need to make sure that everybody is taken care of before taking action. Everything has to be evenly balanced before they just jump right in and do it. Celebrities with Mars and Libra is Jamie Dornan, Dakota Johnson, Prince William, and Kate Middleton. And I put the both of them there because this means that they have their Mars conjunct in their synastry charts, which I've noticed, and you will see in a couple of these celebrity presentation here, that a lot of the celebrities have their Mars placements conjunct. So do they use astrology? I think so. Eminem and Jessica Simpson. Mars in Scorpio. So Mars is at home in Scorpio because Mars is the ruler of Scorpio. So individuals that have Mars in Scorpio, these people are very passionately driven, and they also have a very sexual nature about them. They can also come off as very secretive, private, methodical, and they definitely take an emotional approach because they are a water sign. They are very receptive. So there are another ones that really have to test and feel the waters before taking action, and especially Scorpio. Scorpios are very methodical, and so they need to read the room before they approach anyone. They need to feel out your energy before they can trust you. So they're really feeling out the energy and testing the waters before they're jumping all in and taking action with really anything. They're secretive, and they tend to do a lot of things behind the scenes. Scorpio is a very secret and private sign. So they may not necessarily tell a lot of people the actions that they're taking. But it's definitely very thought out, it's methodical, and they can also be very persistent, meaning that when they get stuck on something, they can really just go, 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 go. And it can sometimes really be intense. The lower vibrations of Mars and Scorpio would be obsessions, compulsions. It could be abuse, power, and control. Those are lower expressions of this placement. Celebrities with Mars and Scorpio is Joe Rogan, Shania Twain, Leonardo DiCaprio, Betty White, and Mel Gibson. Mars and Sagittarius. This energy is very spontaneous, very energetic. Sagittarius is a very adventurous sign, courageous. They love freedom. They're freedom fighters, very independent. That they have this exploratory nature about them and can be a little unconventional. And so these are people that really need their freedom. They really can't be held down. They need to be able to try new things, and they're going to, and it can sometimes be a little bit sporadic, spontaneous. And the celebrities with the Mars in Sagittarius are John Travolta, Rihanna, Bill Maher, Tyler Perry, and Bella Thorne. Mars in Capricorn. So Mars is exalted in Capricorn, meaning that Mars is a welcomed guest in Capricorn. He does quite well in Capricorn. And so individuals that have Mars in Capricorn, these are people that are very hardworking, very dedicated. They're very structured, and they really have a practical reasonable approach. These are people that think things through before taking action. And when they take action, they see it through to the end. They're very hardworking and determined and dedicated. These are very hard workers. And they have this unique element of self control. And then they also have they have a lot of these personal ambitions that they actually can succeed in because of that determination. Celebrities with Mars in Capricorn are Lady Gaga, Samuel L. Jackson, Nicki Minaj, Nicolas Cage, and Jim Carrey. Mars in Aquarius. So these individuals take a very intellectual approach, like a little bit like the Sagittarius energy with this free spirit, adventurous, and also Aquarius is a lot more unconventional than Sagittarius. But these individuals, they're visionaries, they are pioneering, entrepreneurial, they want to try new things. They want to start new things. They want to be the pioneers for new projects and things going on. And the thing with the Mars and Aquarius individuals is that they are able to emotionally detach themselves when they're making decisions, which can sometimes can sometimes be very beneficial when you need it for business because you don't get emotionally attached. You're able to separate yourself to make those decisions. However, in relationships, they can come off as being emotionally detached. And it's just because they have that natural energy about them, it just comes naturally to them where they can just separate their emotions. Doesn't mean they don't care though. So they really do take a very intellectual approach when taking action. Celebrities with Mars and Aquarius are Justin Bieber, Elon Musk, which is interesting, Justin Timberlake, Matthew McConaughey, and Jamie Foxx. Mars in Pisces. So this energy is probably one of the most difficult placements. Possibly because Pisces is a mutable water sign. So there's not much structure to Pisces. And so these individuals can really struggle with physical energy. They can struggle even with depression if there's other indicators in the chart. So I'm not saying everybody with the Mars and Pisces placement will. There definitely has to be other indicators, but it is a possibility. It's a probability or possibility. So they take a very emotional approach. Remember, this is a water sign, so it's very emotional, very receptive, and very intuitive. So things have to feel right for these people to take action. However, they are very creative, very imaginative, and they have this free flowing, energetic spirit. They can also be very mystical and have this spirited sexual nature about them. They they may not actually get involved with people unless they feel like a spiritual connection to that person. Celebrities with Mars and Pisces are Paris Hilton, Tom Hanks, and Rita Wilson. So there's another one of those couples that have their Mars placements conjunct in their synastry charts. Marilyn Monroe, Elizabeth Taylor, and Denzel Washington. So thank you so much for joining me in this video where we go over Mars and all 12 zodiac signs. Let me know in the comment section below if you want me to do Jupiter and Saturn as well, and I would be more than happy to. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you align with my energy and you want more of my content.